Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Drayton Park Golf Club. I'm out on the 13th tee, a par 5 measuring 535 yards off the white tees here. And what I want to cover is just a little bit of course management off the tee. Should we be hitting driver on all the par 5s, or should we possibly think of something a little bit more sensible? Before we get cracking, if you don't already, please do check us out on all our social media platforms. All the info you need for Facebook, Twitter and Instagram is coming along the bottom of the screen right now. Post some comments and questions, videos you'd like to see covered, and I'll get around to filming those. So as I said, this is it's a 5-3-5 hole, which, you know, that means as long as it's not into the wind, if I hit a decent drive, I can get up there in 2 decent shots. You know, I have to hit a half decent drive to give myself a fairway wood perhaps into it, as long as it's not into the wind. But as you'll see from this camera, it's a particularly tight hole, especially where you're hitting driver to. So it really starts to bottleneck in and narrow in where I pitch driver. So I fly driver about 250 to 260 yards carry. And at that point, it really does narrow in that fairway. And it's whether we're worthwhile playing something a little bit shorter to the fatter area at sort of 220, 230 yards, which means I can then lay up short of the ditch to play on. So there is a ditch, and we're going to go ahead and play this hole. There's a ditch out there that starts about 130 yards short of the green, but to cross it, you know, it's really from up to about 90 yards away from the green to fly over the other side. So we've got to fly over that ditch. We can't play out of it. So it's either try and play your second shot short of that ditch, which is what I'm going to do with the hybrid. I'm going to hit something that's going to go 220, 230. I'm going to then try and probably play a 5-iron to lay up short of the ditch and be hitting a wedge or a 9-iron onto the green, or whether we should be all out attack and hitting driver. Some of it, of course, might depend on the situation. Is it medal? Is it Stapleford? Is it match play? You know, if you've got to go for it, then of course you're going to go for it. Personally, I just dislike this driving hole. It's a lovely golf hole, but it's so straight. I actually prefer dog legs. So visually, I struggle a little bit with this one. And I've had a little bit more success hitting the hybrid, lay up, and then pitch on. We're pretty still now. If it was into the wind, this would definitely be my option, because I'm not going to get there with driver fairway wood. In still conditions, if I got to this point on the 13th and I'm playing well, I'd potentially be pulling out that driver and giving it more of a go. So I think it does vary a little bit depending on the situation, but I'm going to go ahead and play play the hole with both clubs. So I've got my hybrid first. This is a 3-iron replacement. I'm just trying to hit out there about 220, 230, hoping that I don't miss the fairway with this one. That'll be perfect. So it's on the fairway, exactly where I was trying to hit it to. Possibly bounced on a little bit more than I was expecting. We've been relatively firm in the UK the last 6 weeks or more. Not a lot of rain. I could have probably hit a little bit less club than that. So now the driver, now the more attacking play. Let's give it a whirl. Oh, that was going left. That was going left. Right, we're going to go down there and see what we're facing. So a good drive would have given me a chance, but now with that drive, I haven't got the chance. I'm laying up anyway. Let's go down there and play the second shots. Right then, guys, this is where my hybrid off the tee finished up. I've almost hit it too well, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it is, well, it is now. I can feel a little bit downwind, and I struck it nicely. I've got 280 to the pin. I've got to hit a layup short of the ditch, no more than really 185. To fly that ditch, I've got to be flying it through the air 220, 225. So it's something I would possibly now pull out of the fairway, but that really, if I'm not going to get to the green, is it going to benefit me getting up there and leaving myself a 60-yard pitch shot rather than a 100-yard pitch shot and trying to play something short of the ditch? So seeing as I in my head from the tee I was playing this as a layup hole, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to hit a 7-iron to lay up short of the ditch, which should then leave me more of a wedge on, and I'll show you where my driver finished up. Got a little bit lucky out on that left side, but I still don't think I'm going to be able to go for the green, so I think it's still going to be a layup, in which case for this particular time then, you know, the layup was sensible, but both are going to give me, I think, a pretty similar result. It's just this is a little bit more stress-free. So that's exactly where I wanted. 2 shots down the fairway, laying up short. It's a very boring way of playing golf, I know, but hopefully I can make a birdie from there. So guys, this is where my drive finished, so my more aggressive play. So I've been quite lucky, or very lucky. I've hit it bad enough, far enough left, that I've actually come through the trees, and I'm actually on the 15th fairway. And I think I can get, because it's downwind, the hybrid all the way to the green over the trees. So it looks like my gamble off the tee, although it wasn't a good shot, is hopefully going to pay off with a lower score. So we're going to give it a go and try and get that ball up onto the green with this ball. Just leaking a touch right. It's about the right distance. Might have found that right bunker instead, but we'll see when we get up there. Right, so I found myself really well positioned. This was my layups. This was my sensible tee shot with a hybrid. My layup with a 7-iron. I've got 105 yards to a red pin position. So this pin's towards the front of the green. It's downwind. I'm just hitting in a gap wedge here, a 52 degree. So I'm in a really nice position. I probably hit the tee shot and the second shot a little bit further than I was expecting, perhaps with that wind. Struck them both nicely. But this is a red light just to go straight at that pin, really. The only difficult thing is greens are relatively firm and that pin's on the front, so I really want to try and elevate it if possible. Okay, it's up there pin high, just on the right hand side, but a makeable birdie putt. Let's go and see where that more aggressive play finished up. I think it's right bunker, but we'll go and give it a go. So my ball actually just finished a little shy of the bunker. I couldn't quite make it out over the top of those trees. So I'm a lot closer than I was. I had 105 yards from playing the hole very sensibly. Here I only really got 20 yards. But I've short-sided myself with a front pin over a bunker. I've got to try and elevate this shot. The good news is I do have a decent lie, but to try and get close to this pin, I've got to really try and hit more of a flop shot, something that's going to be a little bit more elevated. But let's see if it can yield a birdie from a decent shot here. Not bad. I've got it a little bit inside the other one, but 2 birdie putts of around 12-ish feet. Let's go up and give them a go. So I've got my 15-foot or so birdie putt here. This is from playing the hole very sensibly. So I'm just off the edge of the green. Can't mark it or line it up, but it is a real birdie chance that I've got from playing the hole very sensibly on a 535-yard hole, hybrid 7-iron gap wedge. Let's give him a whirl. It's got a chance. Keep rolling. Not quite, but an easy par. I had it if I'd hit it. Let's see if we can do any better, having played the hole a little bit more aggressively, if not a little bit scrappy. And this is what's facing me for my birdie try on my aggressively played hole. So bad driver that got a bit lucky. A pretty good hybrid shot. Just short right to the green and a half decent lob shot to around 10 feet. So I've got a bit of left to right break for my birdie. Let's see if the risk has paid off. Let's give him a whirl. Go right, go right. Just didn't break enough, but felt like a pretty solid putt. So what you've seen is two very differently played holes, both working out with the same result. Hope that video has helped, given you a few ideas on course management when you're on these par fives. If you're not going to get there in two, do you need to hit driver? Is it more sensible hitting something else? Think about where the trouble is, where the bunkers are, where the fairway tightens to. When you do get a chance to try a few different methods out, record the scores, see what works for you. Try and get a game plan for your home course, and that's really going to help you in those medal competitions. Do check us out on Monday, Wednesday and Friday for all the other content. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content of this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for free. Thanks guys, we'll speak to you soon.